Welcome to the weekly checkup on ReachMD for the week of December 7th, 2015. This week's news segment takes a look at gender and the human brain. It turns out this critical organ is unisex, according to a recent study from Tel Aviv University in Israel. Researchers looked at more than 1,400 MRI scans to determine structural differences between male and female brains. Their results suggest that the brain actually possesses a mixture of masculine and feminine characteristics. While this is the first study of its kind, the findings add to a growing body of evidence that differences between the sexes aren't always so clear-cut. ReachMD continues this month's focus on global medicine in the segment, A Practical Guide to Global Medical Volunteerism. Hear from experts as they approach commonly encountered challenges in making global health a sustainable goal for volunteers. And now for a quick look at some of our latest featured content. Off-label use of drugs can lead to issues of safety, coercion, and distributive justice, resulting in the erosion of the medical community. That's one of the concerns discussed in this week's Clinicians Roundtable, entitled Cosmetic Neurology and the Extreme Makeover for the Brain. Listen to neurology experts as they examine the potential risks of off-label drug use in pressuring physicians to manipulate patients' cognitive and emotional lives. This week's video highlight features registered dietitian and host of Nutrition Edge, Kathy King. Learn more about Miss King's medical interests and educational goals in this segment of Meet the Host.
My mom talked me into going into nutrition. At the time, it had a huge amount of science. It has a huge amount of home economics and other kinds of natural sciences, which I loved. And so it turned out to be a really good fit. Nutrition has come into its own during my career. In the mid-'70s, I was very interested in sports nutrition and started a master's in exercise physiology. But at the time when I started that, I was already a consultant to quite a few different sports teams and individual athletes, and to the Denver Bronco football team. I thoroughly enjoyed working with teams. I worked with the Denver Avalanche soccer team, indoor soccer, and those guys hadn't been treated special all their lives. They hadn't been handed educations or anything else, and they really listened to you. One of the things that I've always wanted to do, and I think I did it in my private practice, was trying to bring the awareness of nutrition into medicine. You know, it helps to have visuals, and that's what these are. When we record some of the programming, if you have something that you can see that these were very common, you don't have to have fancy things that actually have some medicinal properties. ReachMD hopefully will give the opportunity to bring good messages to a market that could use it. I think you've got your heart in the right place. I think you've got your education and your motives in the right place. And so I enjoy being part of that. Thanks a lot.
For more featured content, head to ReachMD.com or listen in on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, or Stitcher. I'm Marshall Miller, as always, inviting you to be part of the knowledge.